and Alt 2. Good morning. Welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. We get together because we enjoy each other's company. We love experimenting and trying new things. And some of us even do a little business together. So this morning we are going to talk about some things that Vivek and I have discovered in Google Hangouts, chat and meet. So this morning, since I don't have I have the wrong thing up here, I will ask everybody to introduce themselves. So Vivek, you were here first, so you get to go first.
Namaste. My name is Vivekanand. VivekTechnology.com is my brand name. I believe in simplicity. I believe in thinking differently. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. So I use time tested wisdom and technology into your life by using simple procedures, simple developments. So that's what I do. Unify, simplify, amplify life.
Right
That's
on.
what I do. Yeah.
And you told me it's really hot in the UK today.
Yes, it's been a real summer week this week. It's 35 degrees centigrade outside, and inside it is 29.
Ooh,
So
wow.
it's fairly hot.
Yeah. So what is it here? Well, it's my phone is only showing 14 degrees. Wow. I did walk the beach there this morning, or Dallas Road, and it was a lovely walk. So, yeah. So, thank you, Vivek, and Vivek will assist. He and I will do our presentation this morning. So let's see who came next. It was David.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Flannery with Affordable Websites for Small Businesses. And today we have Javita in chat. She has joined and she says hello to everyone.
Namaste, Javita.
Okay.
And what about you?
Well,
Oh, did you already say that?
I said, my company been very
Oh,
busy. Our real estate is going nuts, and we got more clients than we know what to do with. We had over 50 calls last week or last month,
oh
which
my
is
goodness.
normally we average about 15. So
Gee.
it's been nuts, and we can't find properties. That's the main problem. We got 50 people waiting for one house to come on the market.
Oh my word. Wow. Well,
And
busy is
he,
good, David. Busy
yes,
is
I
good.
know. So
Right on.
okay.
Cool. So I think the next person who came on was Fred.
Thanks, Lowell. And it's Fred Jones. I'm located near Victoria, currently in Colwood, just outside Langford, where a few other people hang around as well. But I work with young people. I have a website called ourfutureleaders.ca, where I promote young people to gain communication and leadership skills so they can become the leaders that our changing world needs.
Right on. I saw your video yesterday. Notes of a. I always want to say vagabond.
Nomad.
Nomad. It's funny what your brain does, eh? When I try to find that word, that's the other word that comes in. Oh dear. So I'm glad you're here, Fred. So Nathan, I think you were next.
Yeah, my name is Nathan Steele.
So we're we're not getting a sound from you. It's all broken up.
Can you hear me now?
No, it doesn't.
Jesus, I'm so sick of my microphone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it's really loud and blurry.
Hold on.
Yeah,
That better?
a little bit.
I can give you, can't give you any better. I've just been surrounded by noise this morning, unfortunately. Anyway, my name is Nathan Siegel. I'm in Mexico, just north of Puerto Vallarta. My thing is copywriting, affiliate marketing, and joint ventures. And currently working with a colleague out of mine to market a course on neurolinguistic programming, which should go live either this week or next week.
Right on.
That's it.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Well, now the sound is, it got better.
It got better because I remembered to turn off the fan behind me. I need a fan or I'm going to die from the heat. It's really hot.
Right.
Well, this place really needs air conditioning and they didn't put it in. And if they had the AC in here, I'd have that on low somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot more bearable. But now that I've turned off my fan, I'm starting to, melt.
You're starting to die. You and Vivek are in the same boat. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not dying, just melting.
Oh, okay.
And so I have this to help me.
Okay.
It's not wine. It looks like wine. It's something called Jamaica, which in Canada, you would call it hibiscus tea. It's the
Okay.
national drink of Mexico.
Okay.
Anyway, mute time.
Okay, so we have Alana is next.
Hi everyone, Alana here in Ireland. It's about 5 o'clock on my time zone, Greenwich Mean Time, and my site is ALB Digital Marketing Solutions, and I help people building websites, writing copy, social media, and basically helping people, small businesses with solutions.
Right on. So are you melting in Ireland?
It's hot today, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I can't say it's all that bad here. I mean, I enjoy the heat, so
Yeah.
you know, like I really can't complain.
Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you.
And Paul, I don't need to ask you if you're melting where you are because you and I are in the same area. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, we are solo, and we're in the hood. You're one of my hood dogs. Yeah, sure. My name is Paul. My company's TTG International Management, and we just like to take ideas and turn them into profitable actions.
Right on, and I'm glad you're here.
Me
So
too.
I guess I probably should say that I'm Lowland Fuglsang, and I like helping retirees who want to create an online business. And okay, so now Vivek and I spent a bit of time. Oh, I should tell everybody we spent the last half hour, more than a half hour, messing with a Zoom update and rebooting our systems, and then discovering that the email that went out to everybody about how to get to my website had a link in it, and something didn't go right on my website, so we went into the back end of that and discovered what the problem was. One of a little automatic system that I have set up in there didn't automatic. I didn't get the reminder. And however, it's working now. So why did we ever did we ever hustle? So oh dear. So just by way of conversation, and I know Vivek, what I need to do. Give me a minute give us a minute to set up a couple of things here so that the presentation will go through properly. We discovered something, and now we're starting to read about it. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. And I am going to go full screen. And Vivek, I think you can now share your screen.
Yep.
So we put together this presentation. I think we did that yesterday, didn't we? So this is all about Hangouts, chat, and meet. And our purpose is to share what we have discovered and then show you how these programs kind of work together. And we maybe should say that what we're going to show you is how it works right now. So we've been hearing from those in the know that Google Hangouts will be disappearing. Many of us from the good old Hangout on Air days have been using Hangouts to text and video call and make phone calls. And so here's an example of a rumor. I just did a Google search, and here's a quote that was posted about a year ago. So here's the quote. Google announced major changes to its popular Hangouts messaging platform in 2017. But Hangouts is still chugging along more than 2 years later. Now, Google has been forced to delay the Hangouts migration until at least June 2020. In 2017, it announced plans to shut down the classic Hangouts. So that was something that that was posted last year. So we've been hearing and reading forever that Google was going to get rid of Hangouts. However, so in a kind of a way, what we've all been doing is just kind of ignoring all those things and just continuing to play with Hangouts, and hadn't done anything until recently. So one day Vivek and I were talking, and he said, "Look what I found." And I looked on my phone, and what you're seeing here is what I was seeing on my phone, or what I have been seeing. So you can see that there's chat and Hangouts, and the same message is showing up in both places. So we looked at this and thought, well, this is curious. Maybe things are coming about, as we've been reading and the rumors have been saying. But we looked at it and we both said, well, we're both G Suite, so I wonder what would happen. I wonder how whether all of this applies to somebody who just has a Gmail. So there's what you see if you don't have G Suite. So this was something that came up from so was this mine or yours, Vivek? I forget. I think this must be
This is where I shared something with you
from Gmail. Yeah.
from my Gmail account,
Yeah.
but it went into your G Suite account. So
Yeah.
communication between Gmail and G Suite is happening through chat.
Yeah. So this is this is just so we've been playing with that for a while, and we started experimenting and just to see what was happening. So
One of the things we observed was whatever you post in the old Hangout chat automatically gets repeated in the new chat thing as well. So and vice versa. You paste something on the chat, it appears in the Hangout. So
right,
it's
right.
they are still doing something. So like what Loveland said at the very beginning, this is how it works today, or at least it did work when we captured the
Yesterday,
screens.
yesterday. Yeah. So we began thinking about how we might present this and how where the average Hangout user or whatever, where do you need to go? And so what you need to know is that so Hangouts and Chat and Meet they're all available. You find them in the App Store on your phone and on your desktop. So when you go in and download one of any of those, they come up on your system. So something else that I discovered, and I don't even remember how I discovered it. We discovered a Chrome extension, and it's called Chat and Meet for Hangouts. And what you're seeing on the screen is what the extension looks like when you open it. So you can see over there where the red arrow is, you can see that Hangouts is listed, Hangout Chat is listed, and Hangout Meet is listed. And so you can, when you're using this extension, you can you can choose which one you want to look in, and you can change your mind. You can say, okay, now I want to look in here. So, now, Vivek, you kind of stumbled on an issue with this extension, didn't you?
Yes, that may have to do with the fact that I am currently using an Apple Mac. I'm not using a Windows machine, so that may be the reason.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but yeah, I try to install the same extension and onto my Apple Mac, and it gave me some problems, and so I said, okay, maybe I need to try it later, and so on, and so I just got
Found
busy with other
it.
things.
You found it. You found another way to do it.
Yeah.
So speaking of other ways, we thought we would show you all the places where you can find all this stuff. So this screen share, you can see that the 9 dots that you see up in the right hand corner. When you click on that, then you can see Meet and Chat and Hangouts. They're all there. So that's another way to access them. Then, if you open your calendar and you want to create an event, you'll see that it allows you to start a Google Meet right from within your calendar. So, what is a Meet? Some of you may are thinking, what the heck is a Meet? A Meet is a video. It's Google's version of Zoom. So it's your video video calling. So now the next one is, if you notice, if you open Google Mail, it down in the left hand corner in Google Mail, it shows Hangouts. Well, for a few days, a week or two ago, we noticed that where it says Hangouts there, it said chat for a while, but then it changed back to Hangouts again. So we've been watching to see what happens there. So then we thought it would also be interesting for you to see what you see inside of chat. So here is when you open chat, you can see that you've got all the people that you have connected with recently. Vivek, correct me if I'm wrong, but that item that you shared with me this morning showed that indicated that some people were finding that only the recent conversations are showing up within the chat. The recent Hangout, like what they're trying to do is move everything out of Hangouts over to chat, but they haven't got everything moved as yet.
Yeah, and they haven't. I think, looks like they have moved things from about maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah.
From that point, everything they found on your Hangout history is copied over to
Yeah.
the chat history.
Yeah. So now this slide will shows you what it looks like inside a chat, and the red arrow down at the bottom shows how to start a meet. So you can click there and start a meet. And so you see Vivek is showing it shows up within here. Or you can start a meet from within your calendar. You can schedule a meet from within your calendar. So there's two different ways to do that. This is really quite interesting. So, however, if you're over in Hangouts, that video button up there still opens a Hangout, not a meet. And I might also tell you while we're in this screen, if you see where it says Google Hangouts over on the left hand side, there's three dots just above that in the green. That's how you open the Chrome extension so that you can move back and forth between Hangouts and chat and meet. It's bizarre. So anyway, so if you still want to use Hangouts, Hangout video, you still have to do it from within Hangouts. Anyway, so now let's see if we go to the next slide. So yeah, what about meat? So what have we discovered, and what have we've played around with meat. So again, we're showing you this shows up. You can start a meet from within chat, and you get this little green box that you can see there. And when that pops up, you have to click the join the video meeting button underneath, and that opens up the whole meet thing. And then you're in a call. You're in a video call. But once you're inside a video call, this is what you get to see. So, and it's really, and you may need to move the Zoom box down a little bit so you can see up in the right hand corner, the extreme right hand corner. So this was what a screenshot that I took. You can see I'm just a little tiny face up in the corner, and then Vivek is filling the screen. And a lot of us that played with this a number of months ago, we decided we didn't like this. So we went away from Meet and decided not to use it anymore. But a few other people didn't like it either, and so we discovered there's something else. So let's see. It looks like I'm looking at my notes here. If you want to see everyone in the center, the way we are used to seeing it in Zoom, then you need to go and get a Chrome extension called Google Meet Grid View. And so that's when you go to the Chrome, the web store, this is what you see. And we need to sort of point out that there, you may see, if you go in there, you may see 2 or 3 Google Meet grid views, and you see this one says fix in brackets, and it's got a bright green grid view, and that's the one you want to choose. So that's we felt like we needed to really point that out because we discovered there was another one in there that didn't work very well. So this is the one that works. So what's next? So we did a screenshot here so that you could see up in the right hand corner, you can see the green grid view up in the extension right there. Yeah, that's the grid view. And so when you've got that turned on, this is what you see within in Meet, and you see the little grid there, and you it allows you to set certain issues. And when you've got the grid view on, you see everybody that's in the call in the center, in the way that you see Vivek and I side by side here. So so that was kind of interesting. Now when you've got grid view turned on, and you want to screen share, this is what you get to see. So the screen share shows up as an extra person, which we thought was kind of interesting. But so that was me showing what Vivek is screen sharing, and I think the next slide shows the other way around, isn't it? Yeah. So then this is what happens when I'm screen sharing. However, we did discover that when you went up and clicked on the 3 people up there in the corner, the participants, when you click on that, as in Zoom, it allows you to select what you want to see, and there is a way to change that so that the full screen is showing whatever the is being shared, screen shared. So there were a few similarities there. So now this is what you see when you have the grid view disabled, and you see up in the right hand corner there's a line through the grid. So Vivek was sharing his screen. It shows his face on the side, and it shows what he was screen sharing. So in order to use Meet, you need to play around with that grid view a fair amount, I would say. So we decided that we should sort of also talk about what you need to know about using Meet. So there are numerous differences between Meet and Zoom, because we're all used to using Zoom, and we wanted to do a little bit of a comparison so that this would make some sense to you. So in Meet, you cannot record or live stream as you can in Zoom. You can record and or you can live stream directly from Stream. In Meet, the only way that you can do that is by using OBS or StreamYard. Meet does not allow the use of virtual background, so that was the other major thing that we didn't really like very much some time ago, was that it's not possible to include your own branding in there as you can in Zoom. I wouldn't be surprised if Google will figure it, or somebody who does Google will figure out a way to do that. So, but all of the things that we can do in Meet comes free with both Gmail and G Suite. Whereas if you wanted to record or live stream from Zoom, you have to be paying the premium. So in a kind of a way, as we see Google adding or different features being added, we may be more attracted to Meet than we were initially, as they begin to add anything. So that's the end of our presentation, other than to say, what questions do you have? So we can stop screen sharing and see whether anybody had any questions and or comments about what we presented. I don't know, it was a little bit difficult to do screen shares and explain all these things, because one thing we forgot to say, Vivek and I did do a Google Meet using OBS, and we streamed it to YouTube. So if anybody wants to see that, they can go over to my channel and it will say a test using OBS and Meet. So we did a practice run to see whether you could do it, and you can. In terms of what was going on in OBS was pretty much the same as what I have to do for Zoom. So I didn't see a whole lot of difference there. Okay, so David, you were waving.
In Zoom, you can only screen share one person at a time. In Meets, can you do multiple screen shares?
No.
It's the same.
It's one at a time. Yeah.
And some of the security features which Zoom brought in later on, like putting you in a waiting room and forcing the host to let you in or not, that is already there in Meet. If you start a meeting, then you would be in a waiting room until the host lets you in. That is by default. There is no other way in Meet.
Yeah. And within Meet, there is a way to disable somebody if somebody comes in and they do something that is not acceptable. Yeah.
It's possible to kick someone out and not let them back in ever.
So I got to mind my P's and Q's, huh?
Yes, you do. Paul, I think
Rest in peace.
I think I saw Fred waving. So no.
No, Paul
No.
was first.
Okay, Paul, go ahead.
So with Zoom, you have to download the program in order to get into it. With Google Meet, if I send someone an invitation, they just have to click on it. Is that correct?
Yes,
So there's nothing to download.
correct.
You don't need to download anything.
And do they have to use any Google tools?
Well, I'm guessing well, that's a darn good question. I'm guessing they would either have to have G Suite or Gmail.
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone didn't have either of those and you sent them an invitation,
They
Any
would
ideas?
need to create a Gmail account or something like that.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That is essentially to, to prevent anybody from jumping into your conversation or whatever. That is a basic security measure. You need to have some account somewhere. So in this case, since Meet is provided by Google, they expect you to have a Google account, some account in Google.
So you don't get Google bombing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Zoom bombing.
Yeah.
You don't get, yeah.
Well, and there within Meet, as I recall, also I think you can share anything that you've got in Google Docs as well. So Fred, you were waving as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention what David said, that more than one person couldn't share their screen. I have never done it, but I think when I was hosting a meeting, there was an option saying more than one person can share their screen. So I would just
Simultaneously, we're talking about.
oh, okay. I'm not sure because I've never
Yeah.
done it,
Yeah.
but I did see something more than one person
Yeah.
could share their screen
Yeah.
at a time.
Well, in Hangouts, two people could be sharing their screen simultaneously. But in Zoom, it's only one person at a time. And in Zoom, you can determine whether anybody can share a screen. Like you've got control over that. Yeah. So that's
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Alana.
So I have two questions. One is chat only available if you have G Suite? That's question number one. Question number two is Meet safer than Zoom? Because remember, Zoom had some security issues. So I know that they're similar products, but I'm wondering if Meet is more
Possibly.
secure.
Meet is possibly more secure because the original design was for corporates.
Okay.
So
And so with the chat
from the
feature,
design point of view, they would have designed it so that it is secure.
Yeah.
oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So with chat though, chat's only available if you have G Suite. Is that how it works?
No. It's available
Oh.
to everybody.
Oh,
Who
maybe I just don't have it yet because I didn't see it in my little hamburger.
Well, now here's the other thing that I've noticed recently. If I just open in the browser, Chrome browser, and I click on the hamburger up in the corner, a lot of the things that I normally use don't show up there. But then if I open the mail, then everything I use opens up inside of mail.
Okay.
There's
Because if I'm looking at the hamburger
Yeah.
inside mail and I see meat and I see Hangouts, but I do not see chats.
If you
It's
go
probably
to
further
additional,
down.
if you go
Yeah.
to additional as well, you'll probably find it there.
yeah.
Well, if I do more, there's a link down there, more from Google, and then it brings me over to a splash page about products.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
chat is in there, so I'm not sure.
So maybe I have to download that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have
I'm
to
not
click on
seeing
that
it yet.
chat, and then it'll might be there. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, it's going to be so interesting to watch and see what happens, as time goes on. So,
Yeah.
Nathan, I saw you turning off your fan or turning on your fan. I didn't know whether that meant you had a question.
It was just, I made a smart ass comment a while earlier. So
Oh,
it was overshadowed by everybody else. So it kind of faded into the background.
oh,
Yeah, no worries.
okay. So, I think, I mean, there's something else that we discovered, Vivek, about the chat. You can create a private room with, and invite specific people into the private room chat, which was
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Yeah. But, I mean, it's just bizarre when, especially on my phone, when, if Vivek puts something into chat, yeah, I get two messages, one from Hangout and one from, is that the room? Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is the room that I
Yeah.
created, and
Yeah.
yeah, this is the chat, and some of these chats are from the Hangout chat that happened a while ago.
Yeah.
So not everything, but yeah, around about 18th June, I should say.
Yeah.
That's what this one says.
Yeah. So it's I mean it in a sort of a way, I mean, Vivek, you and I haven't talked about this, but in my head, you all may be feeling as though we jumped the gun because a lot of changes are about to happen, and there may be a reason, maybe 2 months down the road, to do another such session. But we wanted you to be aware of what is coming down the pipe and how it's going to show up for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Paul.
So the private room, is that so that if I, for example, put out a invitation from my calendar to invite somebody, and then they gave that link to somebody else, if it was a private, like, I'm not quite sure about the private room, why it's there and what its purpose is, because I thought only the people you gave the link to.
No,
If the link is given, even then the other person will have to have the same Google account. Only then they will be able to come in.
So, but
So
the
Google account is the
Yeah.
key.
But Paul, the private room that we're talking about, it equates to, if you're used to using Hangouts, Hangout text, you can do a text and include several people. And there's that private group that only those people will see those messages. That's the way Hangouts works. So over in Google Chat, this room is kind of an equivalent to that. So that has to do with who gets to see the messages that are in the chat. It's not so much related to who gets into a meet.
So just thinking of a way that you might use it, if you were using Meet to do a presentation and you had sort of three people involved, one the presenter, one the host, and maybe one doing monitoring chat, you could have a private room that they texted stuff back and forth to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah,
a use for it?
And
yeah, that is a
Yeah.
possible use. Yes.
yeah, and
Okay.
people can't just join a meet. They have to be invited to the meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
So-
understand that. I just,
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, oh my goodness, we are almost at the top of the hour again. Oh, I'm sorry for the noise in the background. My door is open, as you might guess. So, anybody have a parting comment before we close? You want the last word again, Fred? You don't have to. You don't have to.
On unmute. Oh, there, I couldn't unmute, so I think that's telling me you don't need to have a last word today. I just find it very helpful, once again, for you to make us aware of what's going on in the Google world, so to speak, because it's a big world when you start looking at all of their apps they have. It's unbelievable. When I was looking for chat, as Alana said, yes, it
This
is
is-
absolutely
Yeah.
overwhelming.
This is a list of all the apps that I could find, and some of them I had no idea what they were.
Yeah.
Does
quite-
anybody know what currents is? That's the old Google Plus, if you can believe it.
No, it is overwhelming if you don't. But so that's why this is good. I appreciate the fact that you make me aware of it. That Meets, I would assume, is similar now that Zoom is so popular. They're saying, "Hey, we got to do something about it," because that's typical of Google saying, "Oh, there's something that we should be doing
Yeah.
something about," and that's where the Meets, I believe, is
Yeah.
coming.
No,
from.
but the meet was there
It was in
since
G
the
Suite for a
beginning
long time.
for G
Yeah,
Suite. But
now,
that was in
Yeah.
use for the corporates who
Yeah.
had to have their corporate meetings.
Right.
They
No, I
have an office
understand.
in New York, somewhere and somewhere else. They want to
Yeah,
have a
but now,
meeting.
it's being released to the general public because of
Yes.
Zoom, I would assume.
Yeah.
And it's their equivalent, or will be their equivalent as they progress with it. So anyway, that's my comment, is really that it's thanks very much for making us aware of what's going on in Google world in that relationship, in that regard.
Yeah, right on. All right, so last chance. So I want to remind everyone that it's important to do what you love with passion, and to let you know that next week we're going to explore emerging fields of work, and Fred has agreed to facilitate that discussion. And I know it's a question that's been on everybody's mind. I'm sure we're all, thinking about what we're going to see in the future. So put your thinking caps on and see what you think. So with that said, I will just do the outro.